Hello to the world of Kosmek. Thank you very much for today's participation in our webinar about the introduction of the different gripping products from Kosmek Europe. My name is Wkk and I will guide you through today's webinar. In the next 20 minutes, you will hear and learn about the company Kosmek. You will see how the different gripping products will give you benefits in a complete machining or transportation process with the robots, and you will experience the benefits of these Kosmek gripping products based on some application examples of different companies. Some organizational points up first. You'll find this presentation as a downloadable video at www.kosmek.eu and as well on our YouTube account of Kosmek Europe. You can ask us questions directly via the Q&A box or the messenger from Zoom. Depending on how much questions we get, we try to answer them at the end of the session. For any other belonging, please contact us directly at kosmek.kosmek.eu. Kosmek is the world's leading expert in powered clamping. Due to the limitation from Japanese car manufacturers to 70 bars maximum pressure 40 years ago, Kosmek developed one of the most innovative technologies for pneumatic and hydraulic work holding solutions like clamping, positioning, and supporting, but also in the factory automation range. And since then, Kosmek has been a continuous market leader in Asia. 8 years ago, the increasing demand on Kosmek patented low-pressure technology brought the company to Europe. And since then, Kosmek is the only company in the world covering all areas of the workpiece production process. We offer solutions for casting, injection molding, and punches and presses, for example, like quick mold change systems, ejector rods for fast changing of the ejector pattern, positioning of the die, and pre-rollers for easier loading and unloading of the molds or dies. In terms of work holding and machining, we have, for example, various different hydraulic and pneumatic clamps, work support, and of course, positioning solutions. In terms of factory automation, we have like tool changes, pallet changes, and grippers. And so far, we have encountered patented zero backlash technologies, which is used in our robotic hand changer. And additional to that, we also encountered the high power technology with the mechanical lock inside. And based on these technologies, Kosmek is able to supply the end-of-arm tooling with the help of the robot. But today, we do not want to talk about the possibilities of end-of-arm tooling. We want to talk about the different gripping equipment of Kosmek. And in terms of gripping devices, we want to highlight some of the new components from Kosmek. And for now, let us start with a rough overview of the range of the gripping tools. So here you have a rough overview of the gripping tools which Kosmek has to offer. As already mentioned, most of you have already seen the webinar of our robotic hand changes and manual hand changes with the patented technologies. And everything is building around these two components. For starting with our whole gripper, Wkk, which is very new. It is only 1 week available for the moment now. Then we also have the pneumatic hole clamp for transporting without a mechanical lock as the whole gripper Wkk is having. Additional, we have, of course, different robotic hands, for example, 2 jaw chucks, 3 jaw chucks, parallel grippers, and angular grippers. And in terms of other gripping tools, we also have for a light and stable gripper exchange, for example, we have our ball lock cylinders, which we can see here. And for heavy pallet loading or unloading, or the transportation itself, we offer high power bull stud clamps or the pallet grippers for very heavy equipment and changes of pallets. And if the alignment of the transported workpieces needs to be done, we also introduce to you today our compliance module later on. So basically, the gripping equipment builds all around the robotic hand changes, the master and the tool set. And to start with today's presentation, let us talk about the newest Wkk Pole Gripper. This hole gripper, which is brand new invented in the last weeks, it allows you for a 5-phase accessibility while transferring workpieces to and from various machining processes. Basically, the gripper expands when supplying pressure to the lock port and releasing just supply pressure to the release port. And what that means, we can see here on this cut view of the Wkk. When supplying pressure to the release port on the left side, the piston is getting pushed forward, and therefore the grippers here are going to be retracted inside these tapered angle. So when you want to grip or lock the workpiece, you now just supply the pressure to the lock port. And once we're supplying pressure, the clamp rod will be pushed back inside because of the powerful pressure and the self-locking spring inside. And because of that, the grippers expands now inside of the hole. And this means we are now clamping of the workpiece. And as we have already encountered the self-locking spring, which we can see here, this is inside of the hole gripper, and that means you even have holding force even if the pressure suddenly stops. In this case, we have a wide range of hole diameters based on two different body sizes of the hole gripper. The range goes from 6 mm up to 13 mm, and in this case can be specified in 0.5 mm increments. Additional to the different hole diameters, you can choose different ranges of the seating surfaces, which we can see here. And with that, you're able that your gripper is used in washing or machining environmental where coolant could become inside of the gripper. With that, you can protect like auto switches, which are placed inside of these slots, and the air piping from coolant or cutting fluid just by choosing the right seating surface height, and maybe you mount an additional back plate at the fixture for transporting. And now, coming to the second hole gripper in this range, we're talking about the transfer hole clamp, the WKH. This is basically, it has the same functions as the Wkk hole gripper, which we have seen at the previous slide. The only difference for this type is that we do not have the mechanical lock or self-locking spring inside. But this product is durable and was invented for high-speed operations to withstand high speeds and high vibrations. We additionally have excellent safety functions, and of course, we have the possibilities for an action confirmation inside these slots. It is designed, as I already have said, for the use under severe conditions due to safety mechanisms to prevent any coolant or mist going inside of the transfer hole clamp. And again, the slim neck for interference prevention is the seating height of the transfer hole clamp, which can be specified once more in 10 mm steps. So this were our hole gripping range in terms of pneumatically gripping services. And now I want to give you a short overview of the different robotic hand grippers which Kosmek has to offer. You can see here the different components. We have, of course, standard parallel robotic hand grippers. We have high power parallel grippers, which we will see later in this presentation. And fairly new are our angular or wide angular grippers. And additional, we have, of course, 3-jaw and 2-jaw chucks. For today, I want to get a little bit deeper into one of our special products, the WPW, the parallel hand with an auto grip changer. So here we have our parallel gripper with the auto grip changer, the WPW. Since we now know the range of the Kosmek robotic grippers, I want to show you the following parallel gripper, the WPW. This component is very versatile due to the possibility to simply change the gripper fingers automatically, and afterwards the robot is able to transport another type of workpiece. This enables you to fully use the robot's potential due to the automatic finger change. This gripper can achieve a clamping force of up to roughly 1.15 kilonewtons or 1,150 newtons at 5 bar with a repeatabilities of 0.01 millimeters. For an example, how this automatic grip change works, I want to look with you the following application example at an assembly line for an inspection process. So you can see here, it is based on an Mitsubishi robot using our Kosmek robotic hand changer. And here we have already equipped the Wpw parallel gripper. Now we can see the auto change of the fingers. You can see they are locked onto these finger or gripping stock. And now we start in transferring the assembly part to the assembly station. So we are locking it with the help of the lifting hold clamp from Kosmek. And now we are transporting the first parts to the assembly station. You can see we are very gently placing it also onto the assembly part, and we can see we are picking it up and transporting and placing it at the assembly station. So once we have completed this pick and place, we are now changing the automatic gripper fingers at the stock once more. And these fingers are located, as we can see here on this side. They are clamped on the stocker with the help of our ball lock cylinder, which we are coming later on. And we have repeatabilities, which is always the same with 3 micron, also at these ball lock cylinders. This ball lock cylinder, you can see here, we have these steel bores which are spring loaded, which means when supplying pressure, the steel bores are inside and we can place it. We are now supplying no pressure anymore, and the spring locks the ball lock cylinder or the finger on their designated space. So coming back to the change, as we've seen, we're placing it onto the ball lock cylinders. Now we don't have any fingers equipped to the changer, and now we're starting once more the auto grip change of our Wpw. So as you can see, it is very easy to expand the robot's movable area due to the change of the different gripping fingers. And now we are once more finishing the complete assembly line with the, let's call it is an battery for this electronic component. And now we have assembled it. Once more, we are changing of the gripping fingers, and now we start the final assembly with the screwdriver, which we can see here, which will be now loaded. So coming back to our presentation about the gripping product, these were our auto grip change in Wpw, which could be for you very good to use, since you can maximize the robot's potential due to just simply change the fingers of the auto grip changer. And now we want to check the ball lock cylinder Wkk, which we have seen in the video right now. So it is a very light, stable and durable component due to its simple design. As we can see here, we only have the seal bores inside, the self-locking spring, and of course a piston rod and a release port. But for example, we also can use it with just our finger operation and press the part inside, and we can lock or unlock the part. With the help of these parts, you can maximize the robot's full potential due to the reduced weight and space. And we have a wide range of available diameters from 6.5 millimeters up to 10 millimeters, which can hold starting at 50 newtons up to 200 newtons of weight. For that component, I want to check another video of an application example from the company Siemens. We want to talk now about a mobile robot unit, the SIMA robot unit from Siemens. At company Wkk Pole in Denmark, the task was to minimize setup times and make production times much more effective by using the robots in the product line. Company Siemens introduced their mobile robotic unit SIMA for an automated loading and unloading of workpieces in a lathe. The SIMA mobile robotic unit not just can load and unload the workpieces on one lathe, but due to a special interface between the lathe and the mobile unit, it can be moved from one lathe to another with same feature flexibility. So here we can see now the changing process of the workpiece. The universal robot is inside with WPS, our robotic hand gripper, and changing the workpiece out of the machine, putting it onto the stock, and we can now once more start machining process at the lab without even any help of an operator, but just with the robot. And how is this achieved? That this robot is always placed perfectly besides the machine. This is due to the help of our Kosmek Pole cylinders, which we can see here. These Pole cylinders are mounted onto this mobile unit. As we can see here, there are two Pole cylinders and there are two Pole cylinders. And the speciality of connecting the Siemens mobile robot unit to the LAV housing is used with these components. With these very small but effective pneumatic Pole cylinders, you can easily fix and position the mobile robot unit to the machining center housing. When moving to another machining center, you unconnect the first center and connect basically onto the next. And now, coming to another component which is used in this mobile robotic unit, it would be our parallel gripper Wpsc with the holding force. So the tool changer is mounted with various grippers, for instance, and other tools. In this setup, we have already seen it is our high power parallel gripper Wpsc, which can achieve up to 131 newtons in clamping forces and up to 400 newtons in holding forces at just 5 bar. Holding forces at 0 bar as a safety function are also applied into this product with a range of 26 newtons for the smallest gripper and up to 53 newtons for the biggest model at 0 bar. And of course, we have a repeatability of 0.01 millimeters is given. Now, we have seen the Pole cylinders and the high power parallel grippers. Now I want to show you the big brother of the Pole cylinder, which is called the high power pull stud clamp, the Wpt. As the name is telling, the high power function with the mechanical lock is used in this component, which gives it a very high clamping and holding forces. And due to the compact design dimensions, it is still very light, but yet powerful. We're talking about the clamping force from 310 newtons up to 1.2, let's say roughly 1.2, exactly it would be 1,187 newtons. And talking about holding forces at 0 bar, we have starting at 100 newtons up to 300 newtons at 0 bar. And for these components, we have a self-locking spring built in, and if the pneumatic pressure suddenly stops in the middle of the process, the workpiece still will be held by the pull stud clamp. If it is a simple component, but you will still need the pull bolt, which we can see here for successful clamping of the components or the workpieces. For action confirmation, mostly all of our gripping components can be equipped with an action confirmation sensor in the slots here on our components. And now let's face the biggest brother of these pull stud or transportation clamps. In this case, it would be our pallet gripper, the WVA. And this is definitely the biggest brother out of the previously encountered models. As we can see once again, we have the master side here and we have the tool side or adapter here. Once we want to change the pallets, we move the robots inside of the robot and connect the master to the tool side, which is mostly equipped to the pallet, which needs to be changed. So for this, we only need one master side, and this is equipped to the robot directly. And with the help of our SWR robotic hand changer, we now move to the tool side and connect the tool adapter to our WVA and can change pallets from inside the machine to outside the pallet stock and equip another fixture inside of the robot. And for that, I want to show you an application example from the company Hofmeister. Hofmeister is specialized in the design and production of special tools, fixture buildings, design of production lines, and also has a high-end CNC machining floor, including 5-axis machining tools. For many customers, they do machining of various parts, in different lot sizes on a regular and unregular basis. In order to automate these production orders, they decided to invest in a 5-axis machine tool from Okuma, equipped with a Kosmek 0-point system and a Fanuc robot for 120 kilos, equipped with Kosmek tool changers and Kosmek WVA pallet grippers. So let's start the video. With the Kosmek WVA pallet gripper, the robot can automatically load and unload the pallets up to a weight of 100 kilos to the machine table and place it or remove it from storage. So on the table, the pallet will be fixed and positioned with the Kosmek VS 0-point system. With its beta-ended dynamic positioning technology and high clamping forces of up to 40 kilonewtons, this 0-point system guarantees a repeatability of 3 micron even after a million of loads. Depending on the size and the weight of the pallet, the tool can be changed to a different size of pallet gripper or each other tool for the robot. This can be done through Kosmek SWR tool changers. This robotic hand changer is the only hand changer which is completely backlash-free on the whole world. It is even stronger, but on the same side smaller than other products on the market. All of these unique technologies combined to a highly effective automated manufacturing cell allows company Hofmeister to automate the production of many different smaller lot sizes to drastically reduce setup times, increase the product quality and precision, and let the production go on autonomously during the night or weekend times. So let us have a look at some of the information to the Kosmek WVA. It is designed especially for gripping and transferring and placing heavy fixture pallets in a machining center by a robot. With our WVA pallet gripper, we can reach holding forces of up to 33 kilonewtons or 3.5 tons. It has a safety lock function, so that you still at 0 bar have a holding force of up to 1.9 kilonewtons, and it can take over up to 1,322 Newton meters of bending moments and up to 1,800 Newton meters of the twisting moments. And now coming to one of the newer inventions of Kosmek, the Compliance Module Wrc. What makes this component so special is you are able to correct the misalignment during the robot transfer and the assembly of the workpiece. It can be directly mounted to the tool side of the robotic hand changer, and using with the hand changer, it enables to change a highly flexible hand equipped with the compliance module and a high accuracy operating tool not equipped with the compliance module, which allows you for various different operation methods with the robot. Some specifications or some short facts, I would suppose, with a high lock holding force, the ultra smooth action of the alignment is happening via self-locking spring and magnets placed inside of here. And we have a repeatability of 0.1 millimeters at an allowable load from up to 540 newtons. And now coming to our last part of this gripping series, it would be the locating pin clamp, the SWP. This is specifically designed for welding environments. As you can see here, we have a spatter entering protection so that no malfunction inside of the clamp can happen or any pollution can come into this locating pin clamp. It locates and clamps thin workpieces in one operation. And since we have a long stroke, it allows a workpiece variance at 10 millimeters. What that means, I want to show you in the following example. So let's go back to the start of this video. So this is the introduction of our high accuracy locating pin. So as we can see here, when we're supplying pressure, the piston is getting pushed into the main body, the grippers are expanded and are getting to locate and clamp the workpiece in one operation. So here you can see the first workpiece. We are now changing it to a thicker workpiece, and once more we are able to simply clamp it with the help of one component of Kosmek. So the 10 millimeter stroke allows you for workpiece variance of thickness. How can I say it easier for you? If we are talking about a welding environment, you mostly use 2 or 3 pieces of sheet metal, and these 2 or 3 pieces will be welded together. And let's say each of these parts has 3 millimeters of workpiece thickness. You're able to clamp with the help of the locating pin clamp SWP all 3 of these pieces of sheet metal only with the help of our locating pin clamp. And here we can see the locating repeatability testing. We have located the workpiece and clamped it already with the help of these locating pin clamps. Now we put the sensors to 0 and change to another workpiece with the same holes. And now we clamp it once more, and you can see the repeatability of our locating pin clamp is very, very precise without any change of the repeatability, even while changing of the workpiece. So far to our locating pin clamps. Once more, we have an airflow function so that we are completely safe against any enter of pollution or coolant or spatter into our locating pin clamp. And for today's presentation, I say thank you very much to all of you for your time and participation in today's webinar about the introduction of the different gripping products of Kosmek.